Hey guys, and welcome back to a brand new video and another episode of my F1 2018 mod career mode. And today we are here for the Singapore Grand Prix, round number 13 of the season, I believe. And it's getting to that crunch time in the championship now, where every race counts, and any points you can get are valuable points. After the last race, neither myself or Hamilton scored any points, which was quite surprising. Going to this race, the front row of the grid is those exact same two drivers. Lewis leads, Sebastian Vettel, aka myself, in second place, and 8 World Championships on that first row of the grid for the race here. Now, you might notice something different about the Singapore Grand Prix. That's because I put it on the daytime setting for a change. So the race is going to start on the afternoon setting, so around 3-4 in the afternoon, and it's going to basically, I put it on a ×5 multiplier, so it should end, hopefully, nightfall, hopefully, if I've done it okay. So it should be an interesting dynamic and a bit of a different sort of Singapore Grand Prix to what we're used to, and we get to appreciate the racetrack in the daytime. Now, it's a very long race, the longest one on the calendar, 31 laps, of laps around 1 minute 45 to 1 minute 50, so it's going to be a very long and slow race. We have to take our time, no need to rush into anything. There's a lot of laps to do stuff here, so we'll take it one lap at a time. In terms of the strategy, though, you can see we have rain expected towards the end of the Grand Prix, which is quite interesting. So it's not just going to be the dynamic of from dry to wet, it's going to be daytime to nighttime in sync. So it's all going to be quite nice, and hopefully it comes together rather interestingly. But as you can see on the strategy screen, we're going to run the default one, go from ultras onto the supers, and basically stay on them super softs until the rain comes down. But fuel wise, I think I'm going to go a little bit lower. I'm going to go 31 for 31, so I'm going to match the laps with the fuel. But with that being said, it is now time for the race here for Singapore, and like I said, even if we finish where we start and Hamilton wins, that's absolutely fine. We have 35 points in the championship, so we've got a nice healthy cushion. So with that being said, let's get into the race now for round number 13 for the Singapore Grand Prix. Right then, let's get ready for the 5 red lights here for the Singapore Grand Prix, and lights out and away we go. Lewis gets an absolute flyer. We're not off to a particularly great start. Bottas also gets a good launch off the line into turn 1. Raikkonen on my right hand side here, my teammate, got to be careful through turn 3 on the inside line, not neck and neck, and side by side with Kimi Raikkonen. Kimi though just edges in front, so we'll have to follow the teammate, but it's not been a great start from us, dropping through the field here as we go onto the back straight for the first time this race in this daytime setting. Definitely gives you a completely different feeling for what you're used to around this circuit, and something I've never actually done before. I don't think I've actually raced Singapore in the daytime, so that's going to be quite interesting. And also seeing the time of day progress into the sunset and the dusk setting, that's going to be quite nice as well. But that is all aesthetics and visuals. We are here to try and race today and pick up a W if possible, so let's get into it. Let's get a head down. It's a long way to go in this race, a really long race, so let's take our time and let's sink our teeth into this very long F1 day to night race. Pretty much everyone's very equal for pace here. We was the fastest last time round, but we're all pretty much on the same part of the racetrack and just sort of matching each other through most corners. But DRS is now enabled, so this could be interesting. Kimi is going to have DRS from his fellow countryman Valtteri Bottas, so with that in mind, it might be quite hard for us to pass him first time of asking, but let's see what our straight line speed is like relative to other competitors, and it looks like Raikkonen does have the edge, so we need to get a little bit closer to Kimi to have any chance of making an overtake. I'm definitely running a little bit more wings than Kimi is. I'm a little bit faster through the corners, but he does pull away on the straights. As you can see, I get very close. Kimi locks up. Oh, that's an opportunity. We're going to take that up the inside, squeeze him out, and there we go. We are into third place now. Very opportunistic move. I put the pressure on. I was saying through the corners, you can just tell Kimi was just so much more slower than me, but on the straights I'm so much more slower than him. But that time we got so close, and Kimi just under pressure absolutely bottled it and crumbled like an absolute digestive. So we're now in third place as Hulkenberg has car trouble in that Renault. We're a little bit sideways into there, but back into the podium positions. Now we can try and chase down those silver arrows and see if our pace is genuine. Apparently rain is forecast for just over 10 minutes time. That's a little bit earlier than was predicted on the monitor, so I presume that will get pushed back at some point, and that won't be in 10 minutes time. That's what I expect anyway. We're now well within Bottas' DRS here, but he's got DRS off his team, and that Mercedes is a little bit too quick in a straight line for me to even consider making a move. So at the moment we're just sort of following line astern as we predict and try and think what our next move might be. Okay, I'm extremely close to Bottas here, putting so much pressure on him. Surely he will buckle like Kimi did. If not, then I'm going to just keep on sitting right close to him here in the DRS. But Bottas again has got the rear open thanks to his teammate, so we're going to have to follow from behind But again, we're just staying so close to him. If I can just get the run onto the back straight, I can pump in some rich mix just for a one-off on the back straight. But I have to get the exit absolutely perfect, which I have done. Straighten the car up nice. Rich mix flowing. Let's see what a straight line speed is like. Oh wow, that Mercedes is still pulling away. Jeez, he is quick. On the brakes, no, he's pretty good on the brakes as well. So this is going to continue on for a little while, I think. Very close on the brakes through here. Literally pushing him through the corners. Can I get any sort of run through here? Nah, that's a bit of a scruffy line. Very scruffy line. We have to just recompose ourselves here. Ooh, that was very hot into there. Mistake. I've run deep. Allowed Kimi back through. Not a good move that. Just got it all wrong. Pushed the tyres a little bit too much. Past the limit of grip. And ultimately they didn't really like it. So they replied to me with a swift hard no. And we're not making that corner, dog. So we're going to have to try again. Pushing too much at the minute, I think. Trying to outperform the car. And do too much with what I have available to me. Alright, can we get past Kimi this time? Oh, massive tank slapper. Right, flowing the rich mix. He hasn't got DRS on Bottas, so this is my chance, but I'm not close enough. That mistake ultimately proving costly. Okay, I'm going for a strategy change. I'm not even going to go into the supers, I'm going on the softs. Rain ETA is about 15 minutes. Just to play it safe, I want good consistent tyre performance, so we're going to come in this lap for the soft compound tyres a lap earlier than what I was meant to. I'm going to try and also undercut Bottas and Hamilton in the process. So there we go. Pit entry, done and dusted. Onto the 60 km/h. Look how far ahead the top three teams and the top 6 drivers were. Alonso nowhere to be seen in the next closest car, which is absolutely incredible as we now get underway. A little turn on the front wing from 9 to 10, a little bit more front end. My back end's already very loose, so this is going to make it worse. But I do feel like I want a little bit more front end into the corners and have a little bit more bite to get that apex. But now we've got to really crack on with this outlap and get some good pace. We have no rich mix to burn, so we've just got to try and do it in standard mix. It's critical that we come out ahead of Ocon here and not in traffic, which we have done. So that's good news for us. Hartley's just up the road, but we're not going to catch him this lap, so we have to make this lap count. It's absolutely critical. Okay, Hartley comes in, which is beautiful. Opens up the racetrack for me, and I get some free DRS. I'm actually running rich mix. I'm going to go well into the negatives, but I'm doing it to see if I can get anything out of this. We've got... There's Hamilton, I think. Yes, it is. And we've got him. There we go. Fantastic. And I think we might have got Kimi as well. So that's worked out beautifully for us. And Bottas still has to pit. But the main thing is that we've made it work. Hamilton, they're going for the ultras. That's an interesting strategy because he's going to be very fast now. The question is, will he be able to stay on that until the rain arrives? Or will he have to stop again? Because if he has to stop again, he's absolutely ruined his race. Right, I'm close and personal here against Carlos Sainz, who I'm going to presume will come in. Yes, he does. Kimi's in the pit lane now, so we will see. Bottas, I'm going to guess, is in there as well. So we're going to see exactly where we rejoin. And it's going to be, I think, in the net race lead. There is Valtteri Bottas leaving the pit lane now. We are into first place. Everyone's on ultras, and Hamilton is in P2. So interesting. I'm not going to be P1 for much longer as I use my rich mix, and now Hamilton's going to be all over the back of me with DRS on this massive back straight, and I'm a little bit vulnerable on a straight line. So Lewis is going to be very quick here. He's catching. He's going to the inside. I'm going to squeeze him a little bit. Can we hold it with these tyres around the outside? Yes, we can. It's a lovely bit of defensive driving, and we remain in the lead of the race. The question is, where is Kimi in all of this? I need to know where he is. My rear gunner. Also, look in the bottom left. Look how close the top 6 is. All 3 teams on the same part of the racetrack, I think. That is absolutely incredible. Oh, okay, so rain in 5 minutes. That is, that went from 15 straight down to 5. So we might have gone for the wrong tyre, but doesn't matter. We made the undercut work, and we're in first place, and we have track position. So all is not lost. That was a bit too wide for comfort. Tyres are holding on beautifully. I can actually lean on these and not have to worry about tyre, which is a good thing about being on a slower tyre. No need to worry about tyre conservation. Right now they were doing a fantastic job holding on. Hamilton can't really get close enough. At the minute I'm getting really good exits out of the traction zones because his tyres are still very fresh, and Hamilton doesn't have a chance of getting me on the straights. Apparently now heavy rain in 15 minutes time. Does that mean it's already meant to be raining? Because if it is, then I can't see anything, unless it's about to literally start raining now. Either way, still in control. I can't see no droplets on my car or no rain, so nothing's happening just yet. Okay, now I can see some rain appearing. So the rain has begun to fall here at Singapore. No worries though, I still feel very much in control. Pretty much half race distance. So first half of the race in the wet, in the dry. Second half of the race in the wet. Let's see how this goes. But so far, we are in the lead. And we're holding on quite nicely. Okay, still not wet enough for inters, so we'll go out for one more. Still plenty of grip on these dry tyres. We've actually managed to break out quite a bit of a gap now to Lewis. In these mixed conditions, we are pretty quick and we're looking good. Okay, I'm just unconvinced on the level of grip, so I'm going to come in this lap. I feel like, very sideways into the pit entry there. I just feel like I felt enough in that final sector that just left me unsure if I wanted to stay out for another lap. Everyone else is staying out, fair play. I'm going to roll the dice. I've got the gap. I managed to get almost a 3-second gap to Lewis at the end there, so we're going to roll onto the inters first and take that risk. I feel like it's right. I feel like it felt right to me. That final sector just, I was starting to lose a bit of grip there. Up until sector 2, I was still comfortable to step one up on the dryers, but that final sector just left me unconvinced. So we're going to just play it safe anyway. I've got the cushion, and these tyres can't be much worse. So intermediates for the first time. Let's get used to the conditions and see how the car feels. Already, though, I can tell not a major improvement. Definitely still, it feels in that sort of position where it could be either tyre. Grosjean's come in, which is quite interesting. So the AI definitely feel like it's intermediates time. So I feel like right now it's on the knife edge, and DRS will get disabled any second, which is normally the telltale sign that it's time for the intermediates. And there you go, on cue, just a couple of seconds after, DRS now disabled. So I think we've called this absolutely beautifully, and it is now officially intermediates. We will be on the back of Alonso by the next couple of corners. Just you watch. Okay, now everyone's coming in. Surely Mercedes won't leave their teammates out for one more lap on dries. That's going to absolutely kill their race. I can't see that many cars in the pit lane, so they might have actually left their teammates out. I think they have. That is absolutely suicide. Kimi's in. Who else is in with him? Let's have a look. There's Ricciardo and Hamilton. So Verstappen and Bottas have been fed the scraps, and they're going to have to stay out for one more lap. I do not want to be them right now. The track still feels pretty rough on the intermediates, I can't lie. It doesn't feel great. I think it needs to rain a little bit more to make the track a little bit more damp. Meanwhile, Verstappen and Bottas finally come in, offer them dry tyres, so we now re-inherit first place. And we are well in control as we approach 2/3 distance of this Grand Prix. Very hot. I have to just pull the car out of the barriers there. That could have been catastrophic. For a second I thought about going down the escape road, because if I'd locked up that could have been pretty scary, but luckily we kept the car in there and didn't lock up. That was the main thing. Right, officially 2/3 of the way through the race. 11 more laps to go. Let's bring this home. We're looking good. Switch over to full wets. It's imminent any minute, as the heavy rain is expected to arrive within the next 5 minutes. Oh, Daniel Ricciardo out of the race. Safety car deployed. Interesting. We've just missed a pit exit, so that's unfortunate, but Ricciardo out of the Singapore Grand Prix. That might just open up the window for the full wets, and that could be pretty interesting. There's Charles Leclerc. I'm going to let him pull out ahead of me because I want to be fair, and I don't want to see anyone get lapped if possible. Not being told to pass Leclerc. Okay, never mind. It was fun while it lasted. So, sorry Charles, mate, but I'm going to have to... Actually, no, okay, never mind. He's not slowing down, so hopefully if he can just go, then he can unlap himself. Let's see. Please pass the safety car. Nice, there we go. You're welcome, Charles. I'll be seeing you in this race next season, mate. Don't worry about it. Now, this is a bit of a strategy dilemma because I think it's worth coming in. I really do. I mean, I could not, and I don't think anyone else will. And I can keep track position, but if I come on the wets now, surely by the time the safety car comes in, the track will be wet enough. You can see visibly the rain's gotten worse, so I'm going to come in this up for the full wet. So I'm probably going to rejoin last place, but oh well, you got to do what you got to do, and I'll be on the better tyre at the end of it, so I'll be the one that's winning hopefully. So that's what we're going to do, and we will box this lap for the full wet tyres. Okay then, so here we go. We're going to come into the pit lane for our final stop of the race, onto the full wets. Let's make sure we don't speed or anything. Take it nice and easy, and there we go. No one else is coming in, which is what I expected. Now the question is, how many places am I going to lose, and how close will the AI? The top 6 pace was really, really strong in this race. Everyone in the top 6 running so quick. So I might actually rejoin in still a pretty good position here. Grosjean now is going by, and I think that might be it. I think we might join behind Roman, or not, maybe there's Stoffel. I wonder how many more cars are going to come by. Let's just wait and see as we get off of the limiter. Alright, it's going to be P8 by the look of it. That's not too bad, actually. I expected far worse. So we're going to be in the middle of the pack, but we're going to be on the better and the correct race tyre. So that is good news for us. As you can see, all of a sudden now, with the heavy rain and also the progression in time of day, within like 2 laps, it's got almost night time now here in Singapore, and now we need the lights. So that's the beauty of the time progression, and we're going to end this race hopefully under night skies. So there you go. Okay, well, this is going to be a very interesting safety car restart. I just saw some debris at turn 14. I wonder if it might be Kimi's front wing. We've just been passed by the Haas. This is not ideal. Come on, seriously? Wow, really? Really? Go on then, K-Mag. Go past, mate. Come on, go. Jesus. So we've somehow been overtaken by Magnussen. Brilliant. Right, so anyway, restart time. I swear to you, don't even think about it, Carlos, mate. Right, here we go, restart time. I'm expecting absolutely everybody to come into the pit lane. Surely they'll have to stack an error thing. Like, there's no way you can leave a driver right now in these conditions. Green flag, and I can't believe it. People are actually staying out. That is incredible. Right, so I will now demonstrate to you what being on full wets, what difference it makes when it's actually full wet conditions. As you'll see into turn 1, I will just have the grip to just turn in and make the overtake. So podium position confirmed up in the P3. We've re-overtaken Magnussen, which, you know, we shouldn't have had to have done in the first place, and now we're going to get past Stoffel Van Dorn here. So very nice run through the apex on the power nice and early, and there we go, power down. That McLaren's actually holding its own in the straight line, which I've never thought I'd say in my life. Van Dorn holding on. I'm going to switch to the inside, little shake and bake. Nicely done. Squeeze him out, and there we go, P2. And up next, Valtteri Bottas, who's been the unlucky one to get absolutely flushed down the toilet by the big teams. Right, here we go. Bottas will come into the pit lane as expected. We will now retake first place, as it is now officially completely nightfall here at Singapore, so the day to night transition is complete. We are now back in the first place of the Singapore Grand Prix, and we are looking very comfortable to bring this one home, as we are miles ahead of anybody else, and it's all looking very good. So let's convert this very good race so far into the final and ultimate W. Okay, so interesting thought. Everyone's put inters on again, and Kimi's in the pit lane again. I'm not really sure what's going on there. This is now becoming a bit strange. I wonder if everyone that came in after the safety got put on full wet, and now they've gone straight back onto the inters. On the weather report, it did say the race is going to be the heavy rain is going to end in about 5 minutes. I reckon I'm just going to stick it out on these tyres personally, because I mean, for what's left in the race, I think it's worth it. But look at this, Bottas and Van Dorn have actually rejoined where they were, and Van Dorn this time is actually on for a podium, which is absolutely incredible. But they're an inter, so I'm going to keep an eye on the gaps. If I have to pit, I can. I've got the advantage, so we'll see how it goes. Okay, yeah, we are miles faster, and look at that, Bottas. Everyone's coming in now for the full wets. Brendan Hartley is in second place. I swear that. Oh my God, Gasly's in third. Toro Rosso in 2 and 3. What's going on? It looks like now the AI have finally realised it is full wet conditions. This rain is not letting off. That was Marcus Ericsson, by the way, who has retired from the Grand Prix. But I cannot believe what's happening here. Brendan Hartley is on for a second place finish in Formula 1. Apparently Gasly has a car problem. That is extremely unfortunate. Hopefully, I'm actually really wanting him to hold on to that podium at least. Let's hope he pulls through here. Here we go then, through the final few corners. Last lap of the Grand Prix. It's definitely intermediate conditions now, but there's no point in coming in, of course. Through the final couple of corners, we are going to come home to win the Singapore Grand Prix, and another race win for us. Brendan Hartley rounds up second place with Hulkenberg bringing out the podium. I cannot believe I'm saying this. Hulkenberg ultimately beat Pierre Gasly, but wow, I don't even know what to say. You won't see Hartley's actual face on the podium, as you'll understand, but you know, you just imagine it's Brendan Hartley. But yeah, oh wow, look at that. Bottas actually spoiled the party at the end, so Bottas managed to pip Hulkenberg on the last lap there. But look at that, Brendan Hartley, second place on the podium. Congratulations to him, and absolutely phenomenal stuff. But we take the 25 points home as we go into the next race, which I'm actually not sure where it is now, because it's a 2018 calendar, so it's either Japan or Sochi, I'm going to say. So I'm not really sure where it is, but either way, top 7 of the podium, Hartley second, Bottas in third, and now let's go into the final race results. So here we have the final race results, and Sebastian Vettel wins the Singapore Grand Prix ahead of Brendan Hartley and Valtteri Bottas. Nico Hulkenberg P4 for Renault ahead of Pierre Gasly in the second Toro Rosso. Lewis Hamilton in P6 in the second Mercedes there. Charles Leclerc P7 in the Sauber. Phenomenal result for him ahead of Stoffel van Dorn again in the points, with Max Verstappen and Kevin Magnussen running out the top 10. Raikkonen just missing out on the top 10 there, and also poor race for Alonso as well, who was doing so well up until the confusion with the safety car period. In terms of the standings though, we are 52 points ahead of Lewis Hamilton, and 5 more races to go, I want to say, or even 6 maybe. So still a couple of races to go, but Hamilton really needs a victory, and he needs me to have a bit of a poor race. But in terms of the constructors, you can see we are 68 points clear, so pretty much neck and neck with the Drivers' Championship, give or take. And yeah, overall, a very good race here today. And if you guys did enjoy, then drop a like on the video. Also, do get subscribed for daily Formula 1 and MotoGP content. Turn on notifications to not miss a single upload from me. And finally, do check out these 2 videos on screen if you have missed them. But other than that, guys, thanks for watching, and see you on my next video very soon. Goodbye.